You look good.
Thank you. You look good too. We're live now. It's Jeanette and Jeffrey, and this is a little bit different because it's not that in those two names.
Yeah.
Because we both actually don't use our given first names.
No, we don't.
We don't.
And I don't know why that came up. We had to have a conversation the other day about something completely different, and I called you Jeffrey.
Right.
I don't know why, it just came out.
And I said, well, I prefer Jeff.
Yep.
And then we started talking about something, and I said that in France, all legal papers, they have to have Jeffrey.
Yep. And, so this is just kind of a wake-up call. All of those out there trying to do legal papers in France, because you know what? That happened to me on a bank loan. I didn't put my real name, Jeanette, and because I just go by Jan, and I always I have for so long that then I had to redo all of the bank loan papers with my.
Oh my gosh!
Name. So it's important for people. I know that there's so many bloggers out there now, and they give all of you such great information about 10 tips on going grocery shopping and all of that. But this is a really big tip. Yeah, just so you know, you need to use your real name. It's like on a passport, just,
Whatever written on that passport, man, you got to use.
Well, the thing is you can't use a nickname on a passport. Right,
you can't use a nickname. I don't know what you call ours nicknames or short names or what have you, but I discovered that when I had moved back in 2001 or 2002. Yeah, and I didn't understand that at the time.
Right. Well, you just don't think about it because you only know you as Jeff. And so anyway, everybody out there, just so you know, if you're doing any legal documents with notaries or having anything notarized, use your real person. Your
real name. But it also helps that if you have a name that is maybe gender neutral or gender implies an other gender than your gender, it's good to, right? Because you had an issue one time. I always like bringing this up.
I did. In fact, my nickname is Jan, Jan, and I sent out a CV. I got an interview, and I showed up, and they were expecting a guy because Jan, they thought I was from one of the northern countries, Jan, and one of the northern countries up in Sweden and Norway and all of that. Jan is a guy's name. So anyway, so I added an E on the end of it and became Jane. And that was, the wrong thing to do because it's a completely different name.
Yeah.
But even the French trying to say Jan, they say Jane. They just can't get it. Stupidly enough, I found out later that, and all of this is why you're trying to learn French, so you're only captivating, half of what everybody's saying around you, is that they do have the name Jan in French. It's Jeanne.
Jeanne d'Arc.
Yep, and it's spelled Jeanne, Jeanne. So, but I just didn't see myself going from Jan to this long. Anyway, I don't know. So, all of you out there, if you stay here long enough, you really get mixed up. You sign papers wrong. You lose your identity and your name a little bit. You become Vremel, Franglais.
But actually, people thought that my real name was Jefferson.
Well,
I had never even thought about.
Yeah. Well, interesting enough, I have an English couple down here. His name's Nigel, and her name is Jeff. Well, everybody calls her Jeff because her real name was Jennifer. But his second wife, his first wife's name is Jennifer, and his second wife's name was Jennifer. So so there wouldn't be confusion between his first and second wife.
What wife am I on now?
Oh my God, the crazy things we do as human beings. Anyway, I did want to laugh about something because I did read, it's really interesting because there's so many of y'all coming, I say y'all, coming to France and doing these blogs, and it's really fun because it brings me back to my youth here. and those 10 tips for going to the grocery store. Remember, they're closed between 12 and 2 and blah, 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 blah. I thought we could talk about something a lot more interesting, like going to the dentist in France.
But you don't go to the dentist in France.
Oh, I do. Yeah.
You do? Oh, I don't. I haven't gone in years.
Oh, I just had 2 root canals. He did 2 in one day. Now, I don't know if they do that in the States, but he's never going to do that again. Anyway, it was...
Just pull it out. Just get your father-in-law. Just pull it out. And...
Let me tell you, he actually came really recommended from a very close dentist friend of mine. Well, a dentist, he's an orthodontist and works on children, so he couldn't do my teeth. But so he recommended a dentist, and let me tell you, it's just been a nightmare because he had to take it off, the temporary ones, and he actually they use pliers. And so I said, what kind of cement are you using? Is it Lafarge? Because Lafarge started right down the street from here. And he said, well, it's really close. And I'm like, oh my God, it just nightmare. So, but you know what? I get 100% coverage. I don't know if that's good or bad when you go to the dentist or not.
Maybe there's a reason it's 100%.
Yeah. Anyway, I also wanted to mention that as we discussed, sometimes attitude with the French is really, really hard. And I'm going to be doing some counseling in January on attitude adjustments and how to,
all right.
and what makes up an attitude. Because my mother used to always say, oh, you need to change your attitude. But, people don't know what to change. What is an attitude? So I'm going to, I know what it is. I've studied it. And so anyway, if anybody needs help with an attitude adjustment, I'm available.
Go to Jan. Go to Jeanette, or whoever.
I'm available in January.
In January, you get that attitude. But you can, first of all, you find out what an attitude is, and then you can adjust yours.
Right. What makes up an attitude? And it's
what makes up an attitude?
And it's a combination of 3 things. So I'll tell you more about that in the coming year. So you know what, Jeff? I think this might be our last Jan and Jeff for a little while because I have to go back to the States for my father's celebration of life.
Okay.
And when I come back, maybe we'll try and do 1 or 2 for Christmas. We can give
do 1 or 2 for Christmas. Sounds good.
Give some Christmas recipes and all of that.
All right.
So you take care of yourself. We'll be in touch and have fun. Don't you want to tell us about what you're doing Monday, really quick?
If anybody wants to know, you go on the internet. It's ATD Fourth World. It's the organization that I came to France with. It's ATD Carmonde in French. And Tuesday is October 17th, World Day for Overcoming Poverty. Everybody we got to overcome poverty. In fact, we are going in the right direction. Everybody gets bad news all the time. Yeah. We're going in the right direction. Less and less people live in poverty. And it's a worldwide event. It's going to take place all over the world. Yeah. But it takes place, there'll be live television on the internet.
Yeah, you're in charge of all the social media.
I'm doing the social media. Yeah, it's in the Philippines, in Africa, in France, in Ireland, and in New York, and somewhere in Guatemala. I guess the capital of Guatemala. I'm not sure.
Isn't that Guatemala?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I don't know.
Anyway, it's going to be about 24 hours. It'll be about 24 hours of live events.
Oh,
that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
You don't think it was started by a priest in a shanty town in 1957. This priest was sent someplace, not Abbé Pierre, Joseph Wazinski, and he started this association with the people who lived there.
Wow.
It's called Fourth World because you have the first world, we have the third world, and the fourth world, which are the people who live in extreme poverty or really extreme poverety. Right. So that's what we're going to do on October 17th.
That is great. I'm going to look.
Thank you for mentioning that to me so I can tell everyone. Well,
sure. You can plug it. I mean, it's a great cause. And I think that's how you met your...
that's how I met my late wife. Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's very meaningful. And I will definitely check it up. And I hope you put the link out there.
I will. Thank you very much, Jan.
Sure. Take care, Jeff. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.